had like this kind of multifaceted, women's wrestling chess game kind of break out over the weekend, and I guess we can start with Kairi returning to WWE at Crown Jewel. So no real reaction or anything, but she's linked up with EO, it looks like, and I guess everybody can stop pretending now like they didn't know what was happening. So Kairi shows up. I don't know what they're gonna have her do or anything, but yeah, have fun. Any thoughts on Kairi returning to WWE?
I mean, we kind of talked about it when we all thought she and figured she was going back. Maybe like a month ago, we thought this, or maybe even further than that, we thought she was coming back. Like, yeah, she showed back up into Stardom. She basically was a part timer. They didn't use her to put over anybody. She never took a single pinfall. She would have taken one if not for the Mayu contract situation that was going on around the time of historic crossover. But she ended up losing that IWGP Women's title to Mercedes I think it was San Jose, or America at least. So like that was the only job she really did on the whole basically year run that she was she had came back to like Joshi. And yeah, that's par for the course. Like that's what all the main eventers from the scene always do, is they protect themselves. Like, there was a thing going around of this weekend, like Dash Chicago, I forgot how to pronounce her last name, but Dash had a match with Aja Kong. Aja Kong did an apron bump off through a table. Aja Kong didn't lose that match. Like that's the scene. Everybody protects themselves. Everybody still treats it like it's men's wrestling from 15, 20 years ago.
Or now, AEW. Go ahead, James.
Now anyway. So yeah, like Kairi, she protected herself and she's going back to WWE, and hopefully, with Triple H there, she'll get a better push than she did when she was treated as a complete pin eater for Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors. So there's that.
Yeah. So have fun, Kairi. Then that kind of led to this thing where Sareee, with 3 E's, she a couple weeks ago, or maybe like last week, it was reported by Mike Johnson, PWI Insider or PW Insider, that Sareee was negotiating with a company in America that was not WWE. Us being tapped into, a couple of people that kind of watch these things and all that has speculated to us like privately, kind of like, hey, this is definitely a possibility. Like, is Sukeban, because the patterns that have started to emerge, like with Mike Johnson, and if he's reporting on something with Joshi, usually has to do with Sukeban, and I'm here to tell people, with Sareee, she basically, like, a lot of people thought she was going to go back to WWE. She was like, no, she signed a multi-year deal with them, and I saw a lot of people making, admittedly, some funny jokes, but terribly inaccurate jokes.
What were some of the jokes you saw?
There was like, she would rather, go wrestle for Chuck E. Cheese tokens than deal with Shawn Michaels again. A bunch of Triple H stuff, like there was people just flat out calling Triple H a bum. There was a bunch of like different stuff like that. But I'm here to tell people, like, this is not some. I know it looks crazy, right? And would DJ Envy and Cesar feel like they could get involved with Sukeban and pull the wool? Someone like, yes, the optics do not look great. Like, I've seen people refer to this as a money laundering scheme. Made jokes about them airing on TikTok and
which they literally did.
Yeah,
that actually happened. That ain't no joke.
Yeah. Like
that was the first time I ever realized that like TikTok actually did you could stream on TikTok. I had no fucking idea.
Right. But I'm here to tell you, there's actual money here. Like, there's actually something, like, they're going to run this. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Like I'll keep it a stack with you there.
Right,
When they
right.
say multi-year contract,
Yeah, it might be. Look, it might even pay you multi-year, but look, when you
yeah,
say multi-year, is like how many days is it going to be? Is it going to be
correct,
50? Fuck no. Is it going to be? Is it going to be 24? Fuck no.
correct. So like
This multi-year shit might be like 12 dates, 10 dates.
um, I recall hearing stories about Sareee apologizing to people at her produce shows that may have discovered her through her time when she was in NXT. So like it doesn't shock me that she didn't like go running back there or anything. But this whole thing with Sukeban, and she's competing under her own name.
Yep.
She's not getting any goofy gimmick or anything, which is like hilarious. She pulled the Briscoe bitch on me. Um, and I think this is like this reminds me of like how like they say men's wrestling used to be in Japan in like the late 80s, early 90s. Like fucking Tenryu would go form his own promotion somewhere or something like that. Like she's pretty much gonna be like one of the top people, if not like, you know, the way she's like kind of like people were speculating she may have points on the package here, who knows or whatever. But when you saw this thing, besides like flat out laughing like I did, what was your reaction to this?
I mean, that was my reaction. I laughed. I was like, because first I thought like she ain't going to AEW, right? So because you know they tend to get their like entire like all the references come basically through like the Emi Sakura ism like part of the Joshi realm. So like once I saw the Sukeban thing, I laughed because I was like, oh she ain't that definitely ain't WWE.
Far from it.
Yeah, but you know, then I thought to myself like, well, you know, this makes sense. Like, it seems that like Seedling, like that group of people, like Nasuki Tayo and Arisa Nakajima, kind of are like the go-to people for the wrestling and the wrestlers. So it makes sense seeing that, like, you know, you have Arisa and Sareee in the middle of this thing all year. Ever since Sareee came back, she's currently the Beyond the Sea champion. It makes sense that, like, if Seedling's going to do another show, they're going to bring her in because she's their champion. Gets eyes on them, gets more people in. They do not mind having international people buy their pay-per-views from overseas. So, thinking from that perspective, like, okay, I get it. I get the connection. I get why this happened. The multi-year thing, same thing we just talked about. Like, I think it's cute that it's because you can announce it as such, but it's only a certain number of dates. It's only a few dates. And few, you know what few means? Few means like more than 2, less than 10.
I wonder if they had Court Bauer help them with that rollout, you know, that press
But
release.
but you know, like what comes with Sareee is like same thing that comes with like Arisa Nakajima. If you're going to put them in the main event, or you're going to put them in the top spot for a title, like you're going to get some hard hitting wrestling more likely than not. Because like I don't really, well, especially Nakajima's more adept or whatever else historically, but like I don't think I've ever seen a Sareee match that wasn't like extremely hyper violent, or anyone that was really good anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like there. Look at the people that are there. There are main event level talent in the Joshi scene, all in through Sukeban. So it makes sense that like if they want to do that for like they do all the kind of other stuff, and then the main event thing is like they have the killer match, they could do it like that. Because they have Ano, they have Mayuki, they have Nakajima, they have now Sareee. So like they could do that. So we'll see, but this next show has to be better than the first one.
It gotta
That's
be.
for
I
sure.
think it needs to be better than the first one, and then they need to have this thing like advertised to where like people can pay for this, like if because they're just streaming it for free and all that, and then uploading it on YouTube. It's like how are they making money? Like that's like what I'm kind of looking at it. And maybe like I know some people are probably like, why are you worried about how they're making money? I'm like, well, if I can figure out how they're making money, I can like chart a map for them to like be
Sustainability to
successful.
where it doesn't like go away. Yeah.
Right. And like and it seems like they had this is a very expensive project and it looked like it. Like
Yeah.
and I think for Sareee to like link up with this thing, it's an instant credibility boost, and it's like it's a signature person. So, we know all these people are operating under like secondary kind of gimmicks there, and it's almost like all those people can come and go if they want, right? But if Saree's putting her name on this, it's like, all right, she already was running produce shows herself. Like
Right.
maybe this is like what, it needs to be like, yeah, man, this is like something serious. And then turn it, who knows? Like they form their own dojo or some shit.
I'm not too. I'm not going that far into like the future plans of whatever it is, but I think the thing for me is like I like these shows being here. I like the part where like you have Spark Joshi. I like the part where you have oh my god, you have these other few ones that are running around because like it helps subsidize.
DPW.
Like, sorry,
DPW.
Yeah, Deadlock. Yeah. What's your one, you boy from Joshi Pod runs? I forgot that quick.
Not sure.
I forgot, but basically, like I like the part where like the wrestlers come over here and they can help subsidize their income that they've missed from the pandemic kicking their ass and also the yen being down so bad. So yeah, I'm into this. People are, people come here and they bring their merch bags and they leave with their merch gone by even one show. Like Maya Yuki, like she sold me a fucking 3X because that's all she had left.
Prepped.
I wear a 1X now. I just bought the 3X off the strength. I'll never wear that fucking thing. I may as well turn it into like a
flag.
No, not a flag. Fuck you. No, I may as well frame the thing and just like frame like just the graphic on it and like put it in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, but, get you the background, on there.
So man said a blanket, like I'm wearing like how how girls like where it is like the sleep shit you sleep in, like one of them. Nah, man.
Say the big T-shirt for
the big T-shirt for a still big nigga, even though he's lost 100 pounds. That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, you say the big T-shirt for the ladies. That's what you do.
I'm 6'4", 245 pounds. The shirt I wear off the shirt I pull off is big. Unless I'm in here with a heavyweight.
Hey, I mean, that's your prerogative, sir.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a big girl. Ain't nothing wrong with a big girl.
I know.
I'm just pointing out more times than not. Like the shirt that I'm wearing right now is big enough.
I was
big on me is big as hell.
I believe a man on this show once said, "I want big, strong, muscular women." Like,
you know what I love about that clip? That clip was talking about a match where two were beating the other ass, and the only part that Dan heard was the part where said James likes big, strong, muscular women. I didn't say I didn't, but but like, how did this become like this is a James Boyd fetish? Like that's not when people say you're a Joshi freak or whatever. That's not what they think of this person like big, strong, muscular woman. They know that you're akin to a pedophile.
Yeah.
He took it a whole other route. I don't know if I should be offended or should give him credit for that. Well, I don't know.
Amazing. But yeah, man. Shout out to him, all sizes.
Hold on. Let the free flag fly. All I said was I'm with body diversity. I don't have a preference. That's all I said. Is that freaky?
Hey,
I don't know.
It's on you.
Yeah. Okay.
But moving on. Giulia has garnered some attention in response to WWE. Everybody was pointing and laughing at WWE. No more than I'd say like 45 minutes later, this news drops of WWE interested in signing New Japan champion Giulia. Like that's how it all kind of rolled out to the websites. And this obviously set Twitter ablaze or whatever, and I saw this and I was like, well, Giulia is very popular and has been. We've talked about how Giulia gets talked about on this show.
Yeah, people it's the same thing that Meltzer was doing with Tony Storm for all the years. About how marketable she is. No, you think she's a smoke show, and like the wrestling is secondary. And it's like, look, man, just be real with it instead of trying to talk in your code. You think she's very attractive in a way to where she could be a star. And that's fine, but like the people that say this stuff aren't also being like, yeah, she also had like the best women's match last year in the world.
They ain't talking about none of that. Like,
no, they don't. Look, if she wrestled like Brie Bella, they wouldn't give a fuck.
So, immediately, I saw the put Giulia with this faction, that faction, all the stuff. They got Kairi.
They did the nation domination trope set with Asian women. Yeah.
Yes, all that.
Yeah. They're not Japanese women, Asian women. They throwing Xia Li into this. So I was like, hold on.
Yes.
When has it ever been? Do you understand that Japan and the rest of Asia ain't exactly like some smooth thing?
Nah,
like,
it's
they
all
were
together.
Trying to conquer all them close lands.
It's all together. So like the way this one kind of went, it was like, it read to me, it was like, yeah, WWE would be interested in this wrestler eventually, and that's kind of what I took it as. And I was like, man, it's about to get nasty because people were speculating about Giulia's deal being up next March, and makes her year look pretty weird. Like, obviously, they took the red belt off her back in March.
Mm-hmm.
They've had her walking around with that New Japan Strong belt. There was supposed to be this Mercedes Moné match, which may or may never happen now.
Right.
I don't know. It's a wild thing. I don't think like we were talking earlier, I don't think WWE necessarily cares about the stylistic fit. She's got a lot of buzz.
Right, they just want to hoard her.
Yeah, they got a lot of buzz, and
then they get anything extra after that, cool.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. Like that would be. Look, I think if she left, there are like 4 or 5 people at least to like elevate into where she is now. So it wouldn't be this thing where it's like, oh fuck, as much as
oh my god, what are we gonna do? We have to replace like our 5th biggest star in the promotion. Like, that's
a lot of people
don't understand that's the reality. Like people just see and like, oh yeah, she's a smoke show. She's also like been the champion, so she has to be. Therefore, she has to be the top star. It's like, nah, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all.
I think a lot of the stuff with Giulia this year has been funny because like I was baffled they took the belt off of her after all that that went into getting her to the belt. And from there it was like, all right, now what do you do with her? So I could easily see her being like, you know what, I'm chunk the deuce, and I'm gonna go ahead and had these 5-minute matches on whatever TV show and get a big bag, but she's not in the poorhouse. I think we should put that into the atmosphere. It's not a situation where she's broke in Stardom or anything like that.
I love when people said, like, when first doing that about Kairi and Io, was like, you understand they took pay cuts to come to NXT?
That's funny.
Yeah, so whatever.
But
like,
yeah, what do you make of this? Like, this whole thing, like, because I feel like the raid is coming any day now.
So, one, whatever they do is always going to be a quota, right? Oh, I found the tweet I was going to say. So, like, we were talking about the Mayu Io thing, and, like, I remember this tweet from earlier this year where Mayu told Tokyo Sports, like, that she had once went into Io's house and saw 3 million yen, which is the equivalent of, like, almost $21,000 in
Yeah.
cash just sitting there. And she said that motivated her to work hard in the pure wrestling industry. Yeah, so big racks. Anyway, I don't think anybody in NXT look that shit. That's half their salary.
Yeah.
That's half.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, like if you ask me, like what I think of the whole situation, just like I mean, if she leaves, that's on her. For my benefit, of wanting to see her be the biggest star she could be in America. That's what she so chooses, even though she don't speak a lick of English. I would say, hey, you might want to not do that there, because once you get there, you're new. You have to relearn everything. You don't speak English as good as people that are already there, that already are in front of you, that are also Japanese women there, and also like you're gonna have to find a whole new way to try to get over there, and like you're not gonna have nearly the amount of rope that you would have in anywhere else to do it. Like American pro wrestling is a lot different from Japanese pro wrestling. Like her storytelling is great. Her long form storytelling is great. The problem is people don't have that kind of patience or attention span for people that don't speak English in this country when it comes to pro wrestling. They'll quickly cut bait on her and be like, move on to something new. And then what they're going to say, well, you need a new character. And then you're going to come with a new gimmick. And then she's going to be out here underwater. And then the other part is like the incompatibility of her style in the ring compared to like Stardom. Like the same reason why I thought, Sareee wasn't going to work is like she works too stiff. It's the same thing.
So you ain't ready to hear Michael Cole running down the ice lore?
That's another one, right? Like the ice lord, that will require somebody else from Ice Ribbon to be there.
I mean,
who you got? I mean, obviously, you got Io there because Mio was a trainer and also like a ref there. You also got like I think Asuka did a little bit of Ice Ribbon. I'm not exactly sure, but outside of that, what you got? And they never interacted when all this shit happened anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Giulia, they were all gone by the time Giulia even started pro wrestling.
Though I look forward to Giulia having her name changed to just Giulia, like with a J, to make it easier.
It shouldn't be that hard. Like Giulia is spelled just like Giuliani. It's WWE, and they're it should just fit right. It should make all the sense in the world to them.
Yeah. I don't think it would be. I think her in NXT would suck. Like I don't.
Oh
see
yeah,
that.
but they would have to send her there.
They would have to send her. Yeah, it would be like.
Nah,
man,
I'm sorry. Given how they operate, they will feel that they would have to send her there. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like she knows what the fucking hard cam is, because like in pro wrestling, everybody has like a center stage or like what part to work towards, and everybody happens to do it. It's just people pretend that like they don't know how to do that.
I think her and Rhea Ripley, if they just beat the fuck out of each other like how Rhea Ripley and Charlotte did, they could do that. She could do that match, but I don't think they're gonna let her do that every day.
They're not gonna do that. That's the thing about these matches. Like they will save those kind of matches for like WrestleMania. I can't even say SummerSlam. They've never had no match like that at SummerSlam with the women. So like they have to save it for something super special in their mind. And it's like, do you expect Giulia to actually climb to that level to get there?
Yeah,
I do not.
They barely know what to do with Japanese men. So like my
bar
for Japanese women.
Who's the best push Japanese act in WWE history?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
All right then. So
or
you can't
Asuka.
say barely. So it's one of those two. Think how many times they fucked them up.
Yeah. Apparently there's a Nakamura versus Akira Tozawa match happening right now, and talk about dropping a ball on a guy. They're chanting CM Punk right now. So,
wow.
what they're doing with EO is not really impressive to me. Just kind of holding the belt like a heel goon. So, I think it would be a complete wild card for Giulia, and it would just be weird to see that.
Yeah. I just think because of prior history, I don't think it will work. But you know, she is talented. She's one of the best wrestlers in the world. She's built herself up to that. You know, so like if it did work, it'd be like, oh my god, one of the best wrestlers in the world like managed to work out at like the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. That shouldn't be that shouldn't be like an epic win or like underdog story. Is like this is what should happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's supposed to work. The biggest wrestling company in the world is one of the best wrestlers in the world. That should work pretty fucking well. Like if I like, you know, Rich, you don't watch football much anymore, but like if I were to put like Tyreek Hill back on the fucking Chiefs, don't you think that would work?
You know, I've heard about some other stuff like Josh McDaniels, like he was you know, saying, yeah, like I it said you get that man some great talent, he don't know how to handle it, but if you give him some sorry people, he can bring them up.
That's a lot of coaches.
But
Yeah.
yeah. I just hope everyone does know though that you know, Sareee signing with Sukeban and WWE having interest in Giulia is it can only mean one thing. It is an indictment on Tony Khan and AEW. This is y'all just, you know, even though there was no bag in your hand, you fumbled it. Even though there was you were not connected to this at all. It's on you, Tony Khan.
People were saying this.
Of course.
Mm.
People names too, like, and I was kind of shocked, and I didn't want to get into a whole Twitter war today, so I refrained from the dunks. But man, I was shocked. I was like, damn, catching strays for this too now. Like if you're gonna time in for this one, there's no other situation you can't time into at this point.